All right, Felix is looking for a new full-time job as a meter reader, and he responds to an ad for a position that pays $62,700. What would his weekly salary be to the nearest cent? So we take the $62,700 and we're dividing by 52 for 52 weeks in the year. So $62,700, and that gives us $12,0577. And then they want to know what would his hourly be. So we take the weekly and divide by 40 hours in the week. Okay, so then they also ask what would the monthly salary be. So we take the $62,700 and we divide by 12 months. And that's going to give us $5,225. So how'd you do on these? Are you going to be able to calculate weekly, hourly, and monthly when I ask you on the test? Okay, next one, Leslie worked her regular 40-hour work week plus 6 overtime hours. So this is the one where they give us the output and we have to work backwards to get the input. So they're telling us $759.50 is how much she made already for her week. That included 40 hours of the unknown hourly rate plus 6 hours of overtime, which is at time and a half. So the $759.50 is equal to 40x plus, do that in a calculator, and you get 9x. So when we combine like terms on the next step, we get 49x's total, divide both sides by 49, and we're getting x is equal to $15.50 per hour. And then just ask common sense wise, does that sound like a good hourly rate? And common sense wise, I think that's right. All right. Heidi earns $19 per hour at Legoland. She regularly works 40 hours per week. She's paid time and a half for her overtime, and this last week she worked 43 hours. So we're going to go 40 hours of regular pay and then 3 hours of the overtime. So 40 of the regular pay, which this time we know is $19 per hour, and 3 hours of the time and a half, which is 1.5 times her $19 per hour. So if I do 40 times 19 in a calculator, I get 760. If I do 3 times 1.5 times 19, I get 85.50. Total that up, I get $845.50. And that's her weekly pay. So her total pay was her regular pay plus her overtime pay, and that equaled the total pay. All right, now we're going on into commissions, royalties, and piecework pay. So Jesus is a freelance graphic artist, and he's paid by cover of the book that he creates. So first, let's see how much he made. It's $1,500 per cover, and he did 4 covers. So that shows that he made $6,000. And then last week, it took him 48 hours to make that. So 6,000 in pay divided by 48. That gives us $125 an hour. Not bad, right? If you get paid per cover, that's piecework pay. Okay, now we're talking about commissions, and the first one, we're doing a piecewise function. And remember, we can't really make the big squiggly on here. So we're just going to write 3 different functions with this bracket. And I'm making a video right now. All right, so 0.15x comes from the commission rate of 15%. 0.20x comes from the commission of 20% of the profit, and 0.25x comes from the commission of 25%. But besides writing down these different functions, we also need to write their relative domains. What are the parameters for this commission? So the first one says if the profit is 700 or less, so that's going to be X values less than or equal to 700. Then it says if your profit is over 700 or less than or equal to 1200. So basically between 700 and 1200, but it says less than or equal to the 1200. So we put that equal to bar. And this last one says for all profits greater than 1200. So here's my functions, here's my parameters or my domains that go with those relative functions, and we're done. Now on this test, it's multiple choice. So you're going to be given a function like this, and it's going to ask you how much commission would someone make if they made profits of 1200. So you're going to have to look at the appropriate domain. So see how 1200 is included here? So we're going to take 0.2 of the 1200 to calculate their commission. How do I know which function to use? I need to look at the relative domain. So 0.2 times 1200 is 240, and that's how much they make in commission. So on the test, what you're going to see, you're going to be given a piecewise function and asked to do something with it. All right, Nordstrom's pays its salesperson a commission on the first 2,000 in sales and 50% on the balance. So if the person only sold 1,800, it's just straight up 10% of that 1,800 because they didn't even go over that minimum of 2,000 in sales. So they just made $180 in commission. All right, total piecework pay for Joey is $468. So if he gets $6 per unit, 468 divided by that $6 per unit means that he made 78 units. Okay. Blaine contributes 15% to the total cost of the individual healthcare coverage. So 0.15 of the unknown X is equal to $27.50 weekly. That's his weekly contribution. So keep that in mind because we're going to want to convert that to annually. Divide both sides by 27.50 divided by 15.15, and we got 183.33. Now that's the weekly amount. So we're going to take that 183 and multiply it by 52, and that gives us an annual cost of $95.33.33. This is the total value of healthcare coverage. This is what they asked in part 1. Now they asked what's the employer's contribution. So if Blaine contributes 15%, then the employer contributes 85%. How did I get that? 100 minus 15 is 85%. So let's take 0.85 of 95.33.33, and this is going to do the employer's contribution now. So depending on the test, your test might ask you for what's just the total coverage amount, or it might ask you what the employer's part is. So be prepared for both of those. 0.85 of 9533 and 33 cents. 8103.33. Okay. Here we're doing a retirement, and we're taking an average of all these salaries. So 92,000 plus 92,800 plus 99 plus 100, 500 plus 105, and I'll finish this one off in the next video.